It's Wealth by Design time here on Edge Radio Australia. Got the man himself right here, Jeff Bowman. We're going to talk about some interesting things today. We're kind of changing it up. Living on the edge.
Yes. Good idea, Aaron.
Oh, good. I didn't come up with the idea. This was all yours, let's be honest. We've obviously been talking about some of the fantastic things you do, but I actually want to talk about some of the things that you actually refer, mate. The experts that you are, basically you're putting people together. You are right now, you are the link in the chain.
We are?
Yeah, bringing people together with the experts that they need.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, tell me a bit about it.
Okay, so we've covered some of the key services we handle in-house under the Wealth by Design brand.
Yeah. In
past sort of podcasts and discussions we've had with you. But probably the other half of the business really is just referring on our community, because we've got it up to about 5,000 now that we communicate with.
Yeah,
so it's just every odds and sod character that I've met over the years, mate, you'll be on it.
I'm on a lot of lists, mate. Some of them not so good.
You'll be on it. And so where the areas of expertise lie, they're generally with people that I've got to know over the years.
Okay.
Like and trust.
Yep.
That it's like the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, right? So
true.
So if someone really wants a great finance broker that might just specialise in, say, consumer lending.
Okay.
Like they just want the car, the boat, the jet ski, and the extension to their garage, right?
Yep.
Consumer lending.
Well, you're going to need that because the jet ski takes a bit of space, and I've had the jet ski. Good fun.
A lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, of course, we're not finance brokers.
No.
But we'll collect all the information and the inquiry from our community, from people that come to our website, etc.
Sure.
And then we just disseminate that information and provide it to our preferred broker.
Okay.
And so that's a relationship we will develop with either a broker or a law firm.
Right.
So, but there's lots of different brokers, right? So there might be ones that just specialise in mortgages or consumer lending, or high-end sort of vehicle and machinery.
Right.
Like they might just do what they call yellow vehicles. Which
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bulldozers, right? Yeah, the bulldozers and the haul packs and that sort of stuff. So we've got the brokers to fit the requirement of the client.
Right.
Not so it can be consumer lending right up to, a $100 million sign on the top of a building. Right. Yeah.
That's I did not even think of that.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
So we sort of say, look, as long as it's got a serial number or an address,
right?
We can finance it,
of course,
through our network of brokers, and so that works a treat. Yeah, right. So a big neon flashing $1 million sign, they're terribly expensive. They're really big ones that sit up on these big buildings.
Yeah,
they I mean, they have a serial number, right? But they don't have an address.
Well, when you put them on the building, then they've got one.
Well, yeah. Well, what is it? What level?
Yeah, on top of the BHP building. That's been changed a couple of times. I think not as many times at the top of the R&I Tower, the Bond Tower, whatever tower it happens to be.
Yes.
So I mean,
so that sort of works. So I've had a bloke come to the website the other day. I said, "Oh, mate, been to your website and I've been to your LinkedIn site, and can I buy you a coffee across the road?" I said, "Yeah, sure." Okay. And I was in a bit of a rush. I didn't even know what he did, but it was across the road, so it was okay.
Sure.
And he said, "Look, we had a market cap of 70 million about 6 months ago, but this morning it's about 750 million." I said, "Oh, sorry, I didn't have time to check your business out. Now, what do you do?" He said, "Oh, well, we found nickel and lithium about 5 k's from the Roebourne pub." You know where Roebourne is?
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, really?" I said, yes. So it's been hard. Of course, now it's like a $1.3 billion market cap. And
of course
Gina Rightart's taken it over.
Wow.
But all he wanted was he wanted an introduction to an HR manager.
Right.
He said, "I've only got about 20 staff. Most of them are in Melbourne. And I don't really know where to go."
So you will hook people up with HR people as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mate, I tell you what, you've got little friends everywhere.
Yeah.
And I really like this because, we'll talk on the finance front. If I want a loan for a car or want a loan for a massive sign, you're going to need different people that specialise in different things. So you having that network, I'm able to tap into that.
Totally, yeah. Just because we've been around forever and we've been in the industry. And having a financial planning business for 25 years, you refer work to everybody.
Of course you do. Yeah.
Because you're a financial advisor, but you're not an accountant, a lawyer, this or that.
Sure.
So that's sort of, and that really worked out well. The guy he was wrapped. He said, "Look, thanks so much." He said, "We'll talk about novated leasing later, but that's all I need, someone to get all our workplace agreements together, because we've got nothing." And I've been so busy getting the company to this point.
Yep.
Now the market's gone berserk. Everyone loves us, and so he had a $1 billion company not long after I'd spoken to him. He wouldn't have added too many more to his staff.
Right.
Like, they're not mining the stuff. They've just explored it and found it and drilled for it.
That's amazing.
20 staff, $1 billion market cap business, 1.3. Yeah. So I guess that's an important part of what we do, because we, like lawyers, there's so many different lawyers, right?
Absolutely.
You're getting divorced? Yeah, okay. Is it a happy divorce? Well, reasonably happy, yeah. We've agreed on a 60-40 split. Oh, okay, good. So no bluing? No. All right, well, I know the lawyer I can introduce you to just to get the paperwork done.
Cool.
You don't need 2 lawyers, by the way. Most lawyers will say you need 2 lawyers.
Of course they will.
But you don't.
No,
right?
no,
You
no.
go, as long as the lawyer will engage with you, Mary, and John. Mary will handle the documents to you because you're mates and you're getting on.
Sure.
You just don't want to live together anymore.
That's right.
So that's like, last one I did was $4,500 of legals to do all that work from the point of view of the paperwork.
And I've seen that. I mean, look, and I want a lawyer who the law is very complicated. I want a lawyer who specializes in the type of law that I've got a particular interest in or whatever. So if it's it might be, the conveyancing side of things. It might be legal contracts. It might be HR. It might be a divorce. I don't want a GP of a lawyer. Okay.
No.
I want somebody who specializes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if it's contract law or HR law, we with an HR one we had, another one was a fellow that phoned up and said, "Look, I've got a contracting business that is a plumbing business. Sparky plumbing business, and I've got this guy that's been off sick with a twisted ankle for a couple of weeks now, and he reckons it's not improving, and now he's talking walkers comp, and I just don't know where to go with that, because did he actually twist his ankle playing footy?
Okay,
and he's trying to put it on one of my work sites.
Yeah,
at what stage do you engage the whole workers' comp process? Well, I just don't know. So I just phoned one of my contacts.
Okay.
They run a great business in West Perth.
Yep.
Debbie said, "Jeff, that's bread and butter for us. Give us a breakdown on the situation, introduce me, and we'll take over from there."
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the people in business, when you're in business, you're very good at what you do. Okay. You specialize yourself, right?
Yes.
But you can't be you can't have your hands all over everything.
No.
You cannot be an expert on all these things. And business is so multifaceted, and the larger it gets, the more complicated it becomes.
Exactly.
So for that reason, the smart, logical thing to do is to outsource that intelligence, that information.
Exactly. And it's there. You just got to know where to find it. And there's no money transaction for that. There's no money in for that deal. It was just simple, hey, this is an easy transfer.
Sure.
But of course, this is quite a substantial HR workplace agreement place.
Yep.
And they will win $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 contracts.
Okay.
So we'll come across those from time to time.
Sure.
And of course, we'll make a fee out of that.
Yeah.
We'll be one of the referral partners.
Yeah. Right.
So that's how we'll make a living out of that.
That's right.
Charge them a percent.
And you know what? Never apologize for making a living. It's an important thing to do.
No, you've got to live.
We all work hard. And okay, when you've got a network of 25 years in the industry, okay, that doesn't happen in a moment. It takes 25 years.
It does.
So that has a value, as an important value.
Yeah.
And if you are coming along and you want to access that, well, of course, you've got to, purchase that information effectively. Yeah.
But you do. Yeah. We've worked a way really to monetize connections and introductions. And cybersecurity. I mean, it's a classic. I mean, we have our own cybersecurity people that we like to refer clients to.
Yep.
Because, God, Medicare was a classic, wasn't it? Remember that?
So true. Absolutely. Yeah.
And a major breach and dark web, deep web, bad web.
Every kind of bad web. You're exactly right.
And people's private information was being released, et cetera, et cetera. But the weak link there was a staff member's laptop at home, working from home.
Now, I didn't know that. That is, drives me batty actually, because I see a lot of government departments who are pushing people to be working at home and I do worry about that. I think, someone out there who's working for the ATO or any of the social services or anything like that, are punching away and they've got access to everybody. Well, they also, walk off their computer and well, walking out of the room's a minor problem. It's the access into that computer from another computer, which is
that's it.
Issue.
That's the issue, because if they don't have the proper security on their own laptop, which VPN sort of into the main company system,
sure,
then that's the weak link for the hackers. They love that.
Of course,
they target it.
Yeah, of course they do. And I mean, I'm just trying to think about it. I think that just about everybody I know has had their information pinched at some point. There is actually a website out there. Travis put me onto it, where you can go and it'll actually show you up-to-date breaches for cybersecurity, right?
Okay.
And it's not 2 or 3. Like there's hundreds a month. It's huge.
It's appalling. It is an industry. Like at its darkest, no pun intended, level, you've got heavy duty people driving it. Well, that's the Chinese and South Korea. It's a big revenue earner for the South Koreans.
Is that right?
Yeah, South Korea.
South Korea.
Yes.
Wow.
Sorry, my apologies. North.
Yeah. Okay. That's
we
why
love the South.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah. My apologies.
Yeah.
The North Koreans are notorious for it, apparently.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the money we're talking about. It's absolutely horrendous. So, again, having the opportunity for you to be that link in the chain, to hook people up with the correct company that will be able to suit their business.
Totally.
All different.
Yeah, like
or individual for that.
And we've got big companies, small companies, one-man band, one-woman band businesses that specialize in this. Like there's one woman in the Gold Coast,
right,
who specialised. Cop this. She's actually a chemical engineer by trade, so highly qualified, Austrian woman, very Aryan. You will do it this way.
Very regimented, yeah.
Yeah, she's a beauty. She's a beauty, and but specialises with women in crypto.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if I say like for $200 or $300, I think it's about $350. You actually get every single password that you've ever stored on your machine. She goes onto your machine and grabs them all. Right. There's a way of doing it. Puts them into this password manager, and there's 2 or 3 of these password manager off-the-shelf products.
Yeah.
I mean, I use one called Bitwarden, and she set me up with this. It's fantastic. Best thing I ever did.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that one myself.
Yeah, like 200 passwords, all in one spot, and they're there.
Exactly.
But so there's horses for courses. If you're a big corporation, there's people I know that one guy's got his own business that was the cybersecurity boss of BHP for 8 years.
Oh, okay.
And now he runs his own show.
Jeez.
All Israeli military grade gear.
Well, Jess, there's a bit of skiting right there. Let's face it, to be at that level. Well, look, if you're going to do cyber security for BHP, you're going to have to be good.
Yeah.
All right. There's a company that would be under constant attack.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and he's gone off and done his own thing. And,
yes.
And you've got access to him.
He's got a fabulous. Yeah, I use him I refer him to corporate clients. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Well, not for you. Not for me on my iPad.
No. Yeah. Well, not for me either. We can't afford him.
No. Okay. Fair enough. But on the big scale, you need that kind of protection.
You do.
This is a massive market, as you said. Like it's a very, very big business. I'd love to know the actual numbers of how much theft goes through the cyber world these days. It would be catastrophic.
It is. And he was telling a story of how they could watch well-known cyber criminals. They could watch the crims watching people load money onto their crypto exchanges.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
And then that they could watch them go, okay, they've transferred all their money in, they use a stable coin, probably UTC or something.
Sure.
And then they go and buy the Bitcoin or whatever, right? And then they see, we've been watching for a few days. There's a bit of a pattern here. We'll now go and pinch the coins off the exchange.
Really?
Never to be found again. Yeah.
Yeah.
That goes on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big time.
And these sort of professionals can stop that.
Absolutely. And these guys, they will. Well, it's funny. It's probably a bit of a segue. As you know, we have the only crypto tokenized asset platform.
You do.
In Australia, that's got full custody protection of assets. So,
Like I said to you before, mate, game changer.
yeah, it's a
It
game
just
changer,
makes
yeah.
everybody feel far more comfortable.
Yeah. So we got accountants asking their clients to call us.
Mhm.
So to transfer those crypto assets off those various exchanges. You
Yep.
don't have custody insurance because none of them do. Call Jeff and his team, get it sorted,
Yep.
and then all those assets will be fully insured, like custody
difference.
ownership. And so that's sort of roundabout. We'll refer the cybersecurity people.
Yep.
Often we don't get paid for that, but they will refer us clients because they'll come across someone with crypto.
Yep.
And they've got to talk to these guys because you're not insuring it.
Well, you're looking after
Yeah.
each other. And I think a lot of that's got to do with the fact that if you are providing a genuine service that there's a real need for, you're doing it at a high quality and you're standing with your integrity, right? Of course, people are going to refer you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And it works in both directions, right? So
Totally.
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, works well.
When you hear about the cybersecurity stuff, like, I mean, it's on so many levels. Somebody was telling me the other day about that when you get the phone calls and they wait a few seconds and then they hang up, that's trying to get a voice print from you, right?
Oh, I'm glad you told me that because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I falter it because
Right.
I don't recognize all the numbers
Of course.
because,
How can you?
every time after here we get calls coming through after these shows and I'm
Exactly
going,
right.
well, I don't know it, but I've got to take it.
Yep.
It's a voice print.
There you go. That's exactly what they're trying to
Wow.
get your voice print. And then they'll use your number to track down who you are. And then they'll go and see if you've got any accounts that have a voice print.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because an accountant explained to me the other day his biggest concern with security was an example with the ATO.
Right.
So the ATO do that.
They do.
They
Yes.
record your voice and they recognize your voice. They actually tell you, we're going to train, just say this, and this, and we'll recognize your voice next time for security purposes. Dear, oh dear. You got to be so
I've had that exact spirit. So yeah, I've had the recording where the ATO record you. So when you're doing your tax and you're doing the boring stuff, but you've got to get through the verification process. That is part of it.
Yes.
And yes, now what they're doing is, so I'm told, and I've got no reason to disbelieve this because the person I know has intimate knowledge of it.
Very good.
As said there, what they do is they get the sample of your voice and then use AI to manipulate the shape of it. Boom.
The dark side of AI.
Yeah, absolutely. So like engaging experts in these fields, they're on top of it. Like, they know about this sort of thing well before you or me know about it. So there's so much to it, mate. These days, I mean, I don't know how you feel, and I'm not asking your opinion. I mean, I'm very much very against all these digital currencies, right? I'm a big believer in Bitcoin and that side of things, but I still want to retain cash. I still like to retain that sort of thing. But
I totally agree.
Yeah, you just got to because of ultimately, okay, if you've got a natural disaster, a fire, a flood, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be pretty hard to pay for anything or get anything to move around or good old fashioned cash. We need to.
They will take cash. Yeah, I know. England have passed a law recently because the consumer backlash against this move towards a cashless society was so massive in the UK that they've recently passed a law to say that basically it's roughly this, that if you live within X amount, or every bank has got to provide enough cash for a certain perimeter around their bank. Okay.
Yeah.
So for everyone that lives within blah, blah, 100 meters, 2 miles, 6, whatever, on the average sort of daily use and need for cash over all the data collection they've done, we must keep enough cash in reserve because when these people want cash, we've got to have it for them. And I just think that is the best thing. I'd love Australia to introduce that.
Oh, absolutely.
That's an election winner.
I thoroughly agree. I mean, in China, of course, with the real estate problems they're having in China over the last couple of years, which we could go into and talk for hours about that, but with a lot of buildings being built with no one actually to go into them, there's been the flow on from that for the bank ownership has been a run on the banks. Literally, the everyday punters going to the bank and trying to get the cash out, and of course they haven't been able to. And look, you're talking about a communist country here. They just say no. They just say stop.
Yeah.
So when you lose control of the cash and the monetary system, at the bottom line,
I object to people saying, sorry, we don't accept cash.
No.
As far as I'm concerned, it's legal tender.
Of course it is.
And you should be forced to accept it.
Thoroughly agree.
They got away with it during COVID. Oh, it might be dirty money and there's germs all over it. Well, sorry.
There's always been germs like that. Hasn't changed.
Yeah,
Hasn't changed.
hasn't been germ free.
No, that's
Just
right.
because there's no non-COVID.
Instantly takes me to a scene from Crocodile Dundee, if you remember the movie.
I do.
Yeah,
very fondly. Yeah.
Very fondly. Great movie. And those who remember, there was a bit of a drug scene in that movie where he thinks it's Epsom salts.
Oh, yes.
In New York in the party.
Yes.
I'm making the reference.
Crocodile number 2.
Is that the one? There you go.
Yeah,
that would make more sense.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Because of that, some stat came out about the fact that how much drugs actually is on every single dollar bill in America. Who knows if it could be? It could be just a bit of an old wives' tale. You never know.
You don't know.
But no,
probably not.
Probably not. It's probably not. But I'm a big believer in it's like, okay, with you do a lot with crypto, okay, and the protection of crypto and people holding on and the insurance and basically the safety. You're adding a lot of safety to that.
Yes.
And to me, I kind of see in a lot of ways crypto is obviously, it's almost like the cash of the future in a lot of ways. It's it's a way that you can experience commerce outside the game, right? Okay?
Yes.
Outside the fiat sort of currency. So that's kind of my way of looking
at it. There's the brutal technical efficiency of moving that money around. Is something that's very, very impressive.
It really is.
Like Visa card moves stuff around pretty quickly. I mean, it will do 50,000. That they're the fastest up until recently.
All right, okay.
50,000 financial transactions a second. Visa, right?
Okay.
Like it's right up there. But Solana, which is a crypto asset.
Yes.
But it's got a great use case. It sort of competes with Ethereum, which is sort of a blue chip type crypto asset. You can actually work out what it does. They've now got their transactions up to 70,000.
It's amazing.
70,000 financial transactions a second. Like it's a lightning speed. And that's just mind-blowing when you think about when we used to wire money, in my day, you'd wire money somewhere. You go, oh, God, here we go. It's
remember how long you had to wait for a check to clear?
I know.
It just blows my mind. But.
So there's, and the gaming industry, that whole technology piece has sort of fed into the speed at which digital assets get transferred. So these kids that play games and you've got to pay.
Yeah.
Well, you buy a token, right?
Of course, I didn't even think about
so you
that.
cash your good old Aussie dollars in for a couple of tokens.
Yeah.
And those tokens are the ones that have fled around the planet at 1 million miles an hour on a blockchain, right?
Of course.
So it's actually just converting your fiat currency into digital currency.
Spot on. That's what it's doing.
It's real money.
Yep.
And off it goes in a flash.
Absolutely. But this is why, again, use expertise. Hook up with people who know what they're doing. There's no way in the world I could keep up with that. I mean, I type about 3 words a minute, so I've got no chance. I kind of tap like a bird picking.
You're not your own captain.
Keyboard. So whenever I see an opportunity to access somebody who has a lot more knowledge in that particular field, in a lot of cases, be the dumbest guy in the room. All right, honestly, if you've got access to this, just use it.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing, mate. Because when we first started talking, I know you as a finance man, so I think about that. But I had no idea about the cybersecurity. I had no idea about all the other aspects.
I know. Well, we're a bit of an oddball, really. I mean,
we love oddballs.
I've been sponsored a couple of these DeFi events, where there's smart young. They're all ages of my children, like they're in their 30s, right?
Yep.
And some of them have dropped out of corporate life because they don't like the culture. But there might have been a Top Gun partner with Deloitte or someone like that. And you meet them at these gatherings.
Yep.
And they're right into it. And I learn from them. They teach me.
But that's smart, mate.
Yeah.
Be a sponge.
They're all absolute little guns at it. And I go, tell me about this, Oh, right, I've got to help Jeff out here.
Yes. I'll just take the young fella under my arm. Look at that. They're half your age.
Be patient.
Speak slowly.
I really got to know about this because I've got old people as old as me that need to know this, and you're going to teach me.
But that's another good thing that you do, mate, is you put it in everyday language for me. I often, we obviously do some different shows. We do a couple of crypto shows. One of them I absolutely love. I love the Crypto Hour of Power with Brandon.
Yes.
And, the Orange Brick Road.
They do a great job,
they're
Orange Brick Road.
fantastic.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, Brandon is a gun. He's very passionate.
Very
Their
much
knowledge
so.
is great.
Well,
And
yeah.
they've got a huge team around them too, with the
Really
bookkeepers and accountants and other security people. And they've got a very good network. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, their focus of this is education, and I think that's probably why it's a really good fit with yourself, because the fact that you were great with the education as well. I think and it's a different perspective. You can't just hear it from one sort of source.
No,
right?
but we complement each other, because
think so.
like we're one of their on their front page. There we are, Wealth by Design.
Yep.
And under secure custody, for those that are want to be absolutely who are paranoid about security.
Sure. I don't blame them.
There's a few of those, and they come to us.
Yeah.
Use our platform.
The questions that we get, about this show, and also the comments we're talking about crypto. I think that a lot of people have probably learnt a lot on that one, as far as the fact that you have got that safety and custody, the insurance kind of side of things. Because I'm noticing there used to be a lot more comments about how insecure people felt about crypto. That there are all sorts of comments, right? But ultimately, it was a level of insecurity. But you're talking about the fact that these amounts can be insured.
Yes.
The fact that you've got somebody who can keep and control the custody for you, and you've got that safety. You've built it in
totally.
And I'm seeing people aren't making those comments anymore because they don't need to, because there's now an answer.
Yeah. No, that's fabulous. Bridge the knowledge gap is what it's about, isn't it? You just got to get the message out there.
Yeah. Well, you're doing very well with that, mate. We'll end it there, and we'll catch up again next week, and I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. I also want to put forward to people, if you've got any questions, look, please, get them forward. We love a bit of interaction, so looking forward to that very, very much. But for now, it is, of course, Edge Radio Australia. What's the name of the show, mate?
Wealth by Design.
Edge Radio Australia.
Very good, Aaron.
Done, mate. There we go.
No doubt about you.
Easy peasy. Come on.